I'm always right. I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. I'm here to talk to you about meme coins. We're going to check out a list of everything that's in the space. I'm going to do a new series here on Saturdays where we can at least just take a moment to stop and look and see what's going on with a whole bunch of different meme coins, whether or not they're worth buying, selling. Is there a position? Is there a place for them? Should you add them into your portfolio? I'll let you know whether I'm going to add it into my portfolio. And then you can make you can use me as part of doing your own research and figuring out for yourself which one of these that you like in this space. Now, I've eliminated some. There are things that are trending right now that are not part of it. Before we get started, if you would, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell to be notified. If you share this with as many people as possible, leave comments down below. And it starts to trend and we get a little traction with it, then we'll keep doing it. And we'll keep looking at meme coins and we'll decide what the best buys are in the crypto space right now. And we're going to start off with Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick right now has a ridiculous amount, $24 million in volume. You don't really see over here a gigantic market cap, but you do see just an enormous amount of volume. Now, Slumdog, for those of you who don't know, Slumdog got into this very, very early, up about 20x in his position right now. So the question is, should you be buying right now? And if you look at this, what you would like most probably is to take a standard fib retracement based off of your top over here. You're trading at the 0.618 level. I would look for this to come down just a little bit more. Maybe that would be buy time. If I move over here, which is where I think you know, I'm really looking at the top being this consolidation right here makes it a little difficult here because this thing was moving pretty quick. Pickle Rick, obviously we love Pickle Rick, most of us who are into comedy and stuff like that. So it's going to be difficult to really gauge this when it's brand new. But with the volume that's trading right now, with the total liquidity that's in there, with the presumed market cap being, I want to say maybe 10 million at this point, because these things tend to have very low market caps. I would think there's a lot of volatility that seems to be happening. You see the price going crazy right now, but you don't see volume, right? When you don't see volume, huge volume, big, then you know that the liquidity pool is very light. So if you want to make a play on this, I'm going to recommend that you hold on and we're going to delete that. And we're going to say that the entry point, if there is an entry point, you might be able to put a little bit into that spot right there at 10 zeros, 1,000. Most probably your better position there is going to be around the 7,000 level with 11 zeros, if that's something that you're looking to make a play on. But it is up 6,000% on the day. So what do I know? I'm not going to enter a position until I get into something a little bit lower than that. And then at the same time, I think it might have a pretty big run because it's Pickle Rick. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Fish meme came out of nowhere. 15-minute chart because it is brand new. It is trending. So we do have to, and look, we're going to do, we're going to make it very simple here. This looks like it's the pump, right? So let's start with where we are on this fib retracement. We're at 0.5. So it looks like a move down here. You see the volume of trading down here at this area. Looks like where it kind of took off. So I would be looking at 305 to be my entry point if I'm going to make a play on it right here. Might also take a shot at it right there with just a little bit. If this reverses right here and it just keeps sending and it just keeps going, then I'm going to consider it a miss. But if it comes back down here, then I'm going to be a buyer at that level. Total market cap 800,000. So the play is still there. This could be, and it's very early. This could be, you know, 5 million plus. So you never really know with these things. Planet over here trading at up 29% on the day. Launched just a couple of days ago, having a nice little run, continuing to manifest itself, but it did have that big run up in the beginning. We do kind of see how it just ran. Then it kind of consolidated in this sort of area. But I mean, let's look at it here. It's a $37 million market cap. Are you getting into something for 37 million? The answer to that is probably not. If you do, however, decide that that's something that you want to do, then I would recommend that you hold on to 4 zeros 24 as an entry point where you could potentially see a little bit of profit, because this is a difficult if it came down, it would come down to about 20 something million market cap, and then it would be a little bit more worth it. But you know, once it's made it this far, You don't know. It's this right here would indicate that it's already had its run. Now, could get a second run. That second run could take it up here, but from 36.97 up to where it would normally kind of cap in the 6,000 range, that's not even a 2x. That's not even a great play for you. So I would sit back and I would wait on this to see if it dips a little bit more before I make any sort of play. Everybody thought it was dead, but PSYOP has just had a gigantic reversal, pissing off half of Twitter, who was just absolutely sure. Like, they were absolutely sure that this was done, because Eastben can't make all of this shit happen. He can't keep all of this stuff going, can he? Yeah, he can. Trading at 1380 right now. He's out there telling people the real PSYOP hasn't even begun yet. So trading at a hot number 2 right now. Is this a great entry point for you? And the answer to that, even with this pump right now, is actually a yes. But I would wait until you get to the area right here, this 1,000. It's already bounced off of it. Look, it's used it as resistance for a long period of time when it first launched, and it's used it now, and it's banged off of it twice for support right now. So that 1,000 line seems to be the line of gain. But I mean, guys, it is not that far away to expect that this thing does run back up. When we get the real, by the way, we don't have the real total market cap, by the way. This is being manipulated through liquidity. It is a PSYOP. So when it says here that it has a 759 million market cap, that's not true. That's not true at all. This is the PSYOP. When the PSYOP is cool, and you will know it because ETHBen will tell you, then it'll be a great opportunity to make a play. But let's move on. WAGMIGAMES, not really a meme token, but we're going to take a quick point out over here that seems to have run its course on this leg, then it ran its course on this leg. So look for a little bit more correction, but could you see it continue to spike? Well, here's the thing. WAGMIGAMES has a video game getting ready to launch on iOS, going to be one of the only NFT collections on iOS. And that being the case, being that early, I would predict that this is going to be in the at least 100 to 300 million market cap, most probably in the next 2 to 3 months. Like, I think that WAGMIGAMES is probably going to get on quite a legitimate little run. This is being run by EA Sports, former team members over there. We've got people from Activision Blizzard. WAGMIGAMES is doing something really big. We just haven't seen it manifest into the crypto world, but they did get listed on CoinStore yesterday. So take that for what you will. PEPE had a nice little run up about 5% from where it was right now. It got up to 1350. Is it done now? I want to say it is. If you got into this down here, if you made your play and you were in at this point right here, you got a nice little run that ran up to, what's that, about 14-15%. But guys, at this point, you got to be looking at this saying, hey, wait a minute, 15%, that's not even worth the risk that I'm going with. And that would be a fair assumption. So now you kind of have to look at it and say, well, where do we go next? And if you zoom in here, this kind of tells you that, if you're not getting into 12, if you're not getting down here in the 12s right now, then I would not put in sort of any kind of entry on PEPE. Now, if you're using any kind of exchange, I would set a buy order. Set a buy order at around 50s 1200, just to see if you can get in on the mix, because anything could happen. But putting a buy order down in this area will give you an opportunity to at least catch what looks like it is the bottom right now. Here's the thing. Most likely scenario is when you see something like this happen and it comes down here, then you usually see a fast move to the upside. I'm going to point that out by saying that this happened right here, and then you had this big move here. This happened again here, and you had this big move up here. So that is about a 15-20% move. So if you're looking to scalp this thing for a little bit of profit off of it, then you could certainly find worse things to put your risk into than PEPE at around 1200, considering that it's probably going to run up to around 1330. I would set a sell order, by the way, at about 1320, just to say that you got 10% out of it so that you're safe. But I would never go any further than that right now. Cult is at 3624. I don't see a reason to buy Cult right now. I'm not hating on it, but I don't. If it's not at 3,000 down here, then it's not a buy at this point, right? You're trying to maximize your position. If you want to maximize your position, then do it at the bottom. Be shrewd, be the investor that gets in down at the bottom. If you got in down here at this 3,000 level, and of course, since it hit that 3,000 level recently, it should test it one more time. So if it came down here into 3,000 and it's at 36 right now, that's a 20% run over the last 2 days. That's not a bad gain for anybody who's trying to make a gain. So I would wait for it to come back down. You see here, it came fully down. Right here, it got pretty close. Then we started this little upward momentum, but I don't know that that's going to be maintained. I would prefer to get into cult at around 3,000. Next up is SHIB, 85.77. I mean, SHIB is a buy at this level. SHIB is a big buy at this level. Problem is, there hasn't been much pump to it, even when you get a nice run. So, you know, if you just consider here that if you're at the 83 level and you move up here to about 89, you're not even getting a 10% pump. It's been a long time since you've got any big value off of one of these dips. But here's the thing. The last time you got the dip, and this dipped all the way down into the 78 level, you got to run up to over 100%. So I got to think that when SHIB runs, and it will run, that it's going to run pretty strong, and that this is probably pretty close to the bottom. So I would be a buyer in SHIB anywhere in this area right now. BAIO, this is, you can't see all the memes, I guess. You want to see a picture of it. This is the BAIO meme. You can see it kind of in the background there. So nice, big run. Came back down this is a normal chart. This is normal chart action. Had a reversal. This reversal did not catch me back up to this this third little mini pump right here. This right here would tell me that it's dead. That's not to say that it is, but this right here, the fact that it didn't make it past that line right there, tells me that this is not going to continue to run. It's only got 3.6 holders, 5 million market cap. So it's still some possibility, and $3 million in trading volume. So you could see it, and a strong liquidity pool. So even if I'm saying that I don't like that it didn't pump here, doesn't mean that it won't continue to pump. Doesn't mean that you can't still get some good price out of it, right? But if you're going to do that, then the important thing right now is to be very shrewd with your investment, because you don't want to give somebody else money. You want that person to give you money. That means that the buy order right here would be in the 4s. And then you would be looking at maybe entering just a little bit of a position there, and then a much bigger position at around 3,300. So about 4,000. This is 5 zeros, 4,000, 5 zeros, 33. That would give you kind of an entry point. So that seems to be at least the fairest possibility at this point. Now, on to my favorite. You know it is RFD. RFD. You look, this did not break out over it. And it's now using it as support, but this breakout was a mini breakout, but it is using it as support, right? So this is just a general trend line to the bottom. Now, if that didn't follow, I can also make an argument right here that maybe this is a better trend line. Okay, so it is important to kind of recognize we did have a lot of this happening. It did break out over. However, there is a limited amount of upside, even if we consider the breakout. That breakout only hit up here in the 22s, which means that the maximum kind of pump that you would most probably get in this sort of secondary levels, maybe 2,500, 2,400 right here. So you're putting in a bit of a risk for kind of a long run. Now that run does go, by the way, to about 37%. Just to get to a 24. So there's still some life in it. There's still some opportunity, but the trade volume continues to decline, and the market cap continues to do so as well. 2.5 million versus 17.7 million. Doesn't seem like there's going to be much to it. And I don't think you're going to get very far. Now, really great part about it is you got a liquidity of 7.87 million. If somebody decides that they're going to pump this chart, and it very well could be that somebody is going to pump this chart. Remember, they pumped it from here up to 22 not that long ago. Now that's not a big lift, but it is still 33%. Like, it's still 20%. It's still a pretty decent lift off if you found the bottom. Problem is the volatility of it's gone way down. So Volt 59.95. KuCoin listing came in. Volt had a nice run up to 72, and as you can see right here, it doesn't matter anymore. The price is now scaling itself all the way back down, almost to, in very soon, it's going to be down to the to pre-levels. So the fact is, KuCoin listing did not affect the price in a big long-term positive fashion. Gave it a little spike. The one thing that you wanted to see off of Volt is dropping the zero. You drop the zero, then you start to see a nice little move, because now you've shown that you've rallied and you've made something happen, right? So at this point, that did not happen, and we're down here at this bottom again. Now, the good part is you're still accumulating. You still got, at least it looks like, the move, although it's testing it right now, but you still got to move towards the upside over the long term. I don't have this exactly right, but right here. Now, here's the part that matters, right? It's really you got to be creative to kind of come up with. There's some top right here, so you know, if it trends in this little channel right here after this breakout, then maybe you've got some significant upside that's going to come fight back for it again. Holder count continues to go up, so trade volume continues to go up, but you know, you're still looking at this. If you make another argument, and that other argument is where it's been settling, and it's been settling in this upward facing channel. Upward facing channels, they break to the downside, so there is the potential for some more downside. What you should be watching out before entry into Volt right now is how it plays off of this line right here. As you can see, it leaked down just below it in the last hour, and then got bought up and back above it, but you still have these big red candles bleeding its way out, because the big move that you thought you were going to have for a long period of time didn't happen. So, and you know, I mean, it has to be said, there are way fewer people talking about Volt than were before, and that hype train has kind of died down just a little bit because people are not covering it as much. It doesn't mean that it's any less of an outstanding product, by the way. It just means that fewer people talking about it means fewer people are paying attention, and I mean, that it is what it is, right? So if this right here, if this ascending wedge sort of does play out, and if you put that horizontal ray right there again, you can see it. Like if that wedge kind of plays out, then you might be having a breakout. You might have a very nice breakout above where it settled just before. That volume might pick up, and you'll see what happens. Moving on to Loyal, 91.66. I don't know what else to say about Loyal at this point. You know, I really thought that the way it was being done was just fine, because it's the way ETHBEN has done it over and over and over and over again, and it works every single time. Even the PSYOP, you've only got half your tokens so far. You don't even know the market cap. You can sell your tokens that you do have right now and still have a profit off of what you had on your side. Like he did a great job, but Bitboy Crypto decided he wanted the liquidity pull. He wanted it immediately. He didn't want to wait while Ben did his thing, which wrecked a bunch of investors. So the unhappy investors, of course, are still sitting out here, pretty upset about it. Now, the number, however, it does speak for itself. It's really come down to this kind of thing here, and you know, really looks like it's coming down in this fashion. Coming down in this fashion with a working, by the way, Sidex coming very, very soon. And by the way, I'm not really settling it so much as I'm just kind of pointing out how it's trending. So, and that's probably, I'm just moving it around just a little bit right now to give you a better kind of synopsis here, but it's breaking down into a falling wedge pattern, and that indicates a more bullish sort of upside. So your entry point is right here and right now. I do think that this is representative of not the bottom, but very close to the bottom. So if it does have a move back around, you can see right here, to get back to launch price is 100% away, and that would be a significant big move for anybody. So maybe that happens. Mong over here, I really think that Mong is dead. Like you know, 500,000 volume, 13 million market cap, 1 million. You know, it's less than 10%, and it just continues to bleed. And you know, I keep saying I think it's dead, and then it has like a little mini pump. So we have to gauge the mini pump. So what is the mini pump at best? The mini pump at best is about 21%. So there's still maybe some life, but in the last hour, you can see it bleeding down. This is a new low. So if you want to get in, I mean, shit, this is the moment to get in, because if they are, quote unquote, balling out and trying to make something happen, then 26.25 is the level to gain at this point. So from 19 to 26, That's a 30% lift. So maybe you could see a nice little spike and get lucky with that. GRUMPYCAT. GRUMPYCAT had a nice little run, and just now is not sustaining. This is just turning. So from the breakout over here, which I thought we were having, it's just turned into another downward facing channel. And look, downward facing channels always tend to break towards the upside when you see that happen. But this is going, this goes down and it goes up, and then it goes down and it goes up, but it's not going up as high as it did the last time. So let's take this away, and we have to start being, what is it that we're seeing? Well, we just saw this breakdown. So this level, we're going to throw that out. Now, what are we seeing? So what are we seeing on this chart? And that is that we're seeing maybe this parallel channel sort of playing out in this sort of context right here at best, but it's going to break to the upside. But is it going to break to the upside and give you some new levels and new profit and new space? And I don't know that to be the case. It was trading at about 11 million market cap just short, not that long ago. Now back down to about 5 million. Now it's good it has support at 5 million, but also it should be noted that total liquidity is under 10%. So there's some issues here about volatility, which it's good to have volatility, and it's still got about 3 million in trading volume. But as you can see here, and if I throw a Bollinger Band up, you're going to see it's tightening. I mean, I can tell you it's tightening by the lack of trade volume going across here, other than your little spikes here. So GRUMPYCAT, I would say that it's probably going to come down a little bit more. Might even be my entry position, which was about 92. So you could see it start to correct back to the downside again. Ben, I think Ben is, I want to say Ben is a good entry at any given spot, but realistically right now you can see this is kind of a floor that's been holding. So if I'm doing an entry position, then the entry position is right now. However, there is also this opportunity down here where you're looking at 73.60 being the spot where it kind of did a quick move. You can also see right here, just a little bit above at around 7,800. You can see you had this move and then a big move to the upside, and then you saw this one and then a move up and sideways. So, mathematically speaking, a lot of trade volume happening here, not nearly as much as there was before. Total market cap 34 million, liquidity 2.57 million. That's still kind of light, more meme coin than it is anything else. And that 1.71 million, remember there was $20 million, 30 million in volume that was trading on this not that long ago. And then all of the fiasco with Loyal, PSYOP, and Ben happening at one big time created what appears to be a little bit of concern amongst investors. And here's the other part. BitBoy's going to turn this around. I'm sure that he is. He's one of the top influencers of all crypto. So I think we'll see something magical happen very shortly. Bloom. This is Bloom Block. Did have a spike, a really nice spike up here to the top. Now, it's in a mid-range. No matter how you look at this, there is a mid-range here. At best, I would say that, you would not want to get in at any of these previous highs, but they could be moments to bounce. So if you're looking at that, then you're looking at the best part where it's going to settle, and then that's going to give you your original and best entry point, which is going to be right there, and that's going to be about 1,200. Then you have another opportunity for an entry point, which is where it settled the last time, which is about 1,000. So there are some entry points for you on Bloom Block, but I would kind of try to be shrewd, wait for it to get down there. If it does get into this area, if it does, and a reversal pops up off of it, then I would be taking profit up here around 2,800. And then finally we have Dummy, just kind of launched out here a little while ago. Massive run up on the 1 hour, and now it dumped. However, there's a problem here. Total market cap of 1.75 million, liquidity 1.69 million, making it a strong project. $1 million in trading volume, so it's still got some opportunity for some upside. But that strong liquidity pool is going to make it not move as fast, and it looks like people dumped pretty quickly. Now, what you would normally want to see on Dummy is you would like to see that fib retracement come out at 0.786 or something like that. I'm going to show you what it looks like right here. It went way below 786 and it's trending down. So this would look to me like, I don't understand the buys coming back in. This to me looks like they killed it. with something. Now, could be that it's, you know, these things like 78 and 79 ETH buys and shit like that. But anyway, but that's your wrap up, guys. I would not look at an entry on Dummy at all. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. This is just a big, quick meme coin update. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell to be notified of future content, and we will talk to you again very, very soon. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to sign up for MEXC, BitGet, and NordVPN down in the links below.
Ways they get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this.